Let's take a more in-depth look now at NASA's latest mission, and for that we're joined in Toronto by Kevin Shortt, president of the Canadian Space Society, and Wanda LeClaire, an astrophysicist at the H.R. MacMillan Space Centre in Vancouver. Welcome to you both.
Hello.
Kevin, if I can start with you, what are some of the things that the crew of the Discovery are going to try to accomplish on this mission?
Certainly the headline story of this mission is the Japanese Kibo module, which is the major contribution that the Japanese exploration agency is going to be putting on the space station. And it's really a large experimental module where the astronauts are going to be able to conduct lab experiments and into various sciences on the space station.
Okay. You say that is the headline event. I know that a lot of people have been watching the toilet saga, and there's been some snickering about that. That they're going to try to repair that pump as well?
Yeah, well, certainly that story has brought a whole new dimension to the toilet humor that goes around these days. But yeah, that's sort of one of the additional things that they're putting on the maintenance list. Of course, the installation, the construction of the space station is always the sort of the critical path on any of these missions. And so they always fill in some of these smaller maintenance issues, and it just so happens that the toilet is getting a bit of the spotlight this week.
Okay. Well, Wanda, I understand that there are going to be 3 spacewalks on this mission. What are the astronauts going to be doing?
Well, they'll be doing a lot of different things. I mean, they're going to be hooking up the new module. They'll be setting up and preparing the arm to come out, because the Japanese are sending out an arm for them to do the experiments out on what they're sort of calling the terrace, which will be an area where they can do experiments in the actual vacuum of space, which is something I'm pretty excited about. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And I guess they're also bringing an astronaut to leave there at the International Space Station, and they're going to take one away.
Yeah, they often rotate around like that. They actually had to bump one of the guys off this who had been scheduled to go on this trip in order so that they could do this rotation. I'm sure the other guy will be able to go up on the next flight, though.
Okay, well, for any viewers just joining us, we are awaiting blast-off of Space Shuttle Discovery. It is set to go at 17:02 Eastern, just a few minutes from now. You're looking at live pictures from the Kennedy Space Center at Cape Canaveral, Florida, where weather conditions are looking very good for today's launch. Kevin, there really haven't been any glitches with the countdown on this one, have there?
No, and I think this is what all the NASA engineers always look forward to, is just a nice clean launch. There haven't been any glitches, and the astronauts got loaded on board starting about 2 o'clock and have been sitting on board the space shuttle since shortly past 3 o'clock this afternoon, our time. And there has, the regular holds in the launch have gone through without any glitches, and as you can see now, they're going to down through the last 5 or 6 minutes of the countdown.
Right. One of the interesting little things that I was reading here in background information, the shuttle is carrying not only that huge Japanese lab, the pump for the toilet that has to be fixed, it's also carrying a little Disney action figure, and I'm surprised this little guy hasn't gone into space before now. Buzz Lightyear, remember him from Toy Story?
Most certainly, yes.
I think everybody does. And Wanda, I think Disney, they're doing this because they want to try and encourage children, school children, to learn more about space. It really is important, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's actually what we focus a lot on. We develop special programs for kids, and having something as popular as Buzz Lightyear go up there, that's pretty fun.
Yeah, to infinity and beyond. He's finally going to do it.
I'm surprised he hasn't before.
Well, that's as I said. Are there any potential obstacles to this mission? Anything we should be keeping an eye on?
I don't think so. EVAs are always a touch dangerous, so they do have a whole series of protocols, but I think that things will go off pretty good. At least I'm always hoping that they will.
Kevin, I imagine they will be keeping a close eye again on the tiles on the underbelly of the shuttle.
Yeah, and that's what's rather unique about this particular mission, that in fact, the inspection boom that performs those inspections was actually left on the space station during the last shuttle mission, because the Kibo module is so large, there wasn't room enough in the cargo bay. So, in fact, for the first time since all of these inspections have been implemented in the standard shuttle mission, the first time they have to actually dock with the space station and grapple the extension boom to actually inspect the underside of the space shuttle.
Okay, and just a reminder to our viewers just joining us that we are watching coverage of the Space Shuttle Discovery launch, which is just a few short minutes away, and it's been all systems go all afternoon, looking like terrific weather. And again, the shuttle is carrying a large Japanese lab module for the lab, I guess, Kevin. There are several components to this, aren't there?
There have been, and in fact, in the previous mission, there was what in essence is an adapter module that goes from the space station and will be connecting to Kibo. And now, so this is the main component. And as Wanda said, there's going to be a robotic arm on the lab module as well that will do its own little robotics missions as well. So there's a little bit of competition, if not arm wrestling, I suppose, in space for the robotics side of it. But in addition to the experimental module, there is actually a Japanese astronaut on board who is sort of the key engineer or the key specialist on board for this mission.
Well, I know this has been very exciting for the Japanese to see this go up in space. Wanda, do you know what kind of experiments they'll be able to do with this lab?
Well, I imagine they'll get a chance to test out different materials in space and see how they react to that environment. It's a very harsh environment, and things that we've thought would happen in the past haven't turned out to happen, and then unexpected things have turned out to happen once they've been exposed to space. Of course, I also imagine they'll be doing some experiments on bacteria, see how they survive in the vacuum of space, see how they hold up to the radiation.
Okay, we are less than 30 seconds now to blast off, so why don't we just listen in?